Welcome, my friends. Today we are going to listen to a powerful book called How to Be Disciplined, written by Sheldon Howe. This book is about something very important in life, discipline. Discipline means doing the right thing at the right time, even when it is not easy. It helps us manage our time, fight procrastination, stay focused, and achieve the goals that really matter in life. In this video, you will hear a complete summary of the book chapter by chapter in very simple English. Each part is explained in a clear and easy way so that everyone can understand and learn from it. If you want to grow in your life, if you want to stop wasting time and start building good habits, then this book will give you the tools and the mindset to do it. Before we start, I request you to please support our channel. Do not forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you never miss more audiobooks and life-changing summaries like this one. Your support motivates us to keep bringing such valuable content for you. So, let us begin our journey into the book How to Be Disciplined by Sheldon Howe.
Discipline is a word we often hear, but many people feel it is something very hard or very strict. Some think discipline means living a life with no fun, no freedom, and no happiness. But in reality, discipline is not a punishment. It is not about being hard on yourself all the time. Discipline is actually a gift you give to your future. It is a tool that helps you move from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. Think for a moment. Imagine two people. The first person wakes up late, checks the phone for hours, eats junk food, skips exercise, and keeps delaying work. At the end of the day, that person feels tired, guilty, and unhappy. The second person wakes up early, eats healthy food, spends time on important tasks, and avoids wasting time on distractions. At the end of the day, that person feels proud, calm, and in control. What is the difference between these two people? It is not intelligence, not luck, not money. The real difference is discipline. Discipline means you can control your actions and your choices, instead of letting your moods and feelings control you. It means you can say yes to what is good for you and no to what is harmful. For example, you say yes to reading, exercising, and working on your goals. And you say no to laziness, scrolling endlessly on social media, or wasting money on things you don't need. Sheldon Howe explains that discipline is like a muscle. If you use it every day, it becomes stronger. But if you avoid it, it becomes weak. Many people wait for motivation to start something, but motivation comes and goes. Discipline is different. Discipline is steady. It works even when you don't feel like working. For example, you may not feel like exercising, but discipline makes you put on your shoes and start walking. Once you start, you feel better. Motivation follows after action, not before it. The author also says that discipline gives freedom. At first, this sounds strange, because we usually connect discipline with rules and limits. But in deeply, if you are disciplined with your money, you will have freedom from debt and stress. If you are disciplined with your health, you will have freedom from disease. If you are disciplined with your time, you will have freedom to do what you love. In this way, discipline removes the chains of bad habits and opens the door to a free life. Another important point is self-respect. When you are disciplined, you start trusting yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you grow in confidence. Let's say you decide to wake up at 6 a.m. and you actually do it. That one small act builds trust with yourself. Slowly you begin to believe, yes, I can do what I say. But if you keep breaking promises to yourself, you lose respect for yourself. You start thinking, I am lazy, I cannot change. Discipline rebuilds that broken trust. The author reminds us that discipline is not about being perfect. Nobody is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Discipline means you try again after failing. For example, maybe you planned to study for 3 hours, but you wasted time. Instead of giving up, discipline says, it's okay, let's start again now. In this way, discipline is about consistency, not perfection. The author also tells us that discipline is a choice. Every day, every hour, we are making choices. Small choices build our life. If you choose to eat one unhealthy meal, It may not harm you, but if you keep choosing unhealthy food every day, the result will be bad health. In the same way, if you choose to skip work one day, maybe nothing happens. But if you keep skipping work, your future will suffer. Discipline means making the right choice again and again, even when it is hard. Think about successful people in any field: sports, business, art, or science. They are not successful only because of talent. They are successful because of discipline. A singer practices every day. A writer writes every day. An athlete trains every day. Without discipline, talent is wasted. With discipline, even an ordinary person can achieve extraordinary results. In this first chapter, the author wants us to understand discipline not as something scary, but as something powerful and positive. It is the key to reaching our dreams. Discipline is not your enemy, it is your best friend. It will push you when you feel lazy. It will remind you of your goals when you are distracted. It will help you grow stronger each day. So the question is, do you want to live a life controlled by your moods, or do you want to live a life guided by your goals? Discipline is the bridge that takes you from dreams to reality. In this chapter, we learned that discipline is not punishment. It is freedom, respect, and power. It is the secret difference between a life full of regret and a life full of achievement. As we go forward in this audiobook, we will learn how to build discipline step by step in our time, in our habits, and in our mind.
If discipline is so powerful and so important, then why do so many people fail at it? Why do we start with good intentions but give up after some time? In this chapter, Sheldon Howe explains the reasons why discipline feels so hard and what is really happening inside us when we struggle. The first reason is our brain loves comfort. Human beings are naturally designed to save energy. Thousands of years ago, when life was about survival, saving energy was useful. People needed to rest so they could have energy to hunt or fight. But today, this same habit pushes us toward laziness. When you sit on the sofa and watch TV, your brain feels happy because it is easy. When you open social media, your brain feels rewarded because it gives fast pleasure. But when you open a book to study or go outside to exercise, your brain feels it is hard work. This is why comfort is dangerous. Discipline means we must fight this natural desire for comfort and choose growth instead. The second reason is procrastination. We all know this word. Delaying something important for later. You say, I will do it tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. The problem with procrastination is that it gives short-term relief but long-term pain. For example, if you delay working on a project, you may feel relaxed in the moment. But later when the deadline comes, you feel stress, guilt, and panic. Discipline teaches us the opposite. Short-term effort for long-term peace. The third reason is lack of clear goals. Many people say, I want to be better, but they don't know what better means. If you don't know what you are working for, it is hard to stay disciplined. Imagine playing football without goalposts. How will you know if you are winning? In the same way, without clear goals, you will lose direction and discipline will feel pointless. That is why the author says, before building discipline, you must know your destination. Another big reason we struggle is distractions. Today's world is full of them. Phones, apps, notifications, TV, and endless entertainment. Every time you start something serious, your phone buzzes and your mind gets pulled away. Research shows that if you get distracted, it takes many minutes to return to deep focus. This is why so many people cannot stay disciplined. It is not because they are weak, it is because they are living in an environment full of traps. The author reminds us, if you want discipline, you must protect yourself from distractions. The fifth reason is depending too much on motivation. People wait until they feel like it. For example, I will start the gym when I feel motivated. But feelings are like the weather. They keep changing. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel weak. If your discipline depends on your mood, you will fail. Discipline is about doing it even without motivation. As Sheldon Howe says, action comes first, motivation comes later.
Another hidden reason is fear of failure. Many times we avoid discipline because we are afraid of trying and not succeeding. You may think, what if I try to study and still fail the exam? What if I exercise and still don't lose weight? This fear makes you do nothing. But the truth is, failure is part of growth. Every disciplined person has failed many times, but they stood up again. Discipline is not about never failing, it is about never quitting. The author also talks about bad habits from the past. If you have been living without discipline for many years, your brain is trained to act that way. For example, if you always watch TV at night, your brain expects it every night. Changing habits feels uncomfortable because you are fighting years of practice. But just as a bad habit can become automatic, a good habit can also become automatic with practice. Discipline is about training your brain in a new direction. Let us look at an example. Imagine a student who always waits until the last night to study for exams. He knows it is bad, but he still does it every time. Why? Because his brain has linked studying with stress and boredom, so he runs away from it until the last moment. The only way to change this is discipline, studying a little every day even if it feels boring. Slowly his brain will learn that studying daily is normal and not painful. This is how discipline replaces old habits with new ones. Sheldon Howe also explains that many people fail at discipline because they try to change everything at once. They make a big list. Wake up at 5 a.m., run 5 kilometers, read 50 pages, work 10 hours, meditate, and eat perfectly. Of course, this plan collapses in a few days. Discipline is not about changing your life in one night. It is about making small, steady changes that last. If you start small and grow slowly, your discipline will become unshakable. Finally, the author reminds us that struggling with discipline is normal. It does not mean you are weak or hopeless. It only means you are human. Everyone struggles. Even the most successful people feel lazy, distracted, and tired. But the difference is, disciplined people know how to handle these struggles. They don't let feelings control their life. In this chapter, we understood why discipline is so difficult. Our brain loves comfort, procrastination tempts us, distractions surround us, and fear of failure stops us. But knowing these reasons is the first step. When we see the traps clearly, we can prepare to overcome them. In the next chapters, Sheldon Howe will show us how to build strong habits, manage time, and protect our focus so that discipline becomes easier day by day.
In the last chapter, we learned why discipline is difficult. Now Sheldon Howe shows us the next step. If you want to be disciplined, you must first set clear goals. Without goals, discipline has no direction. Think of it like driving a car. If you start your car but don't know where to go, you will waste fuel and time. But if you have a clear destination, every turn you take makes sense. In the same way, discipline without goals feels heavy, boring, and confusing. But when you know what you are working for, discipline feels lighter and more meaningful. The author explains that many people make a mistake. They keep saying, I want to be better. But better is not clear. What exactly do you want? Do you want better health? Do you want more money? Do you want to learn a skill? Without clarity, you cannot build focus. Sheldon Howe suggests using a simple method. Make your goals specific, measurable, and realistic. Instead of saying, I want to exercise, say, I will walk for 20 minutes every morning. Instead of saying, I want to save money, say, I will save 10% of my income every month. Small, clear goals are easier to follow. Another important point is to connect goals with your deeper values. Ask yourself, why does this goal matter to me? For example, if your goal is to study hard, your deeper reason may be to get a good job and support your family. If your goal is to exercise, your deeper reason may be to live longer and stay healthy for your loved ones. When your goal has a strong reason, discipline becomes much easier because you're not just forcing yourself, you are moving towards something meaningful. The author also reminds us that goals must be realistic. If you set very big goals too quickly, you will fail and lose confidence.
For example, if you have never exercised, don't set a goal to run a marathon in 1 month. Start small, maybe just 10 minutes of walking daily. Once that becomes easy, increase slowly. Discipline grows step by step, not in one big jump. Sheldon Howe gives another useful idea. Write down your goals. When you write them, they become more real. They move from your mind to paper. A written goal is like a contract with yourself. You can see it every day and remind yourself why you started. Let us take an example. Imagine a person who wants to learn English. If he says, I want to speak better English, it is too vague. But if he says, every day I will learn 5 new words and use them in sentences, that is clear. If he writes it down and checks his progress, discipline will grow naturally. The author also talks about breaking big goals into small milestones. Suppose your big goal is to write a book. At first, it feels huge and impossible. But if you break it down to write 1 page daily, the task becomes simple. After 1 year, you will have more than 300 pages. Small steps, done daily, create big results. This is how discipline and goals work together. Another point Sheldon Howe shares is celebrating progress. Discipline does not mean you must be serious all the time. Reward yourself when you complete a goal. For example, after 1 week of consistent exercise, allow yourself to enjoy a movie or a nice meal. These small rewards make discipline enjoyable and motivate you to continue. Finally, the author reminds us that goals can change. Life changes, priorities change. Don't be afraid to adjust your goals. Discipline does not mean being rigid. It means staying true to what matters most at each stage of your life. In this chapter, we learned that discipline without clear goals is like driving without a map. Goals give direction, purpose, and meaning to your effort. Start small, be specific, write them down, and connect them with your values. When you know your why, staying disciplined becomes much easier.
Now that we know discipline needs clear goals, Sheldon Howe explains the next step, building small habits. Habits are the real engine of discipline. Once something becomes a habit, you don't need to push yourself every day. It becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. The author says that many people fail at discipline because they try to change everything in one day. They make big promises. I will wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym for 2 hours, read 50 pages and stop using social media. This sounds good for one day, but soon it feels too heavy and they quit. Real discipline does not grow from big pressure. It grows from small, daily habits. Think of a drop of water. One drop is small, but if it keeps falling again and again, it can even make a hole in a stone. In the same way, small habits practiced every day become powerful over time. For example, if you want to get fit, don't start with 2 hours at the gym. Start with just 10 push-ups or a 15-minute walk. If you want to read, don't start with 50 pages a day. Start with just 5 pages. The secret is to make the habit so small that you cannot say no. The author also explains the idea of habit stacking. This means connecting a new habit with something you already do. For example, if you want to start journaling, do it right after you brush your teeth. If you want to do push-ups, do them right after your morning tea. When you connect the new habit with an old one, it becomes easier to remember and repeat. Another powerful trick is environment design. Our environment shapes our habits more than we realize. If you want to read more, keep a book on your desk or next to your bed. If you want to stop eating junk food, don't keep chips and chocolates in your house. Make good habits easy and bad habits difficult. The author also reminds us to track habits. Write them down, use a calendar or an app. Each time you complete the habit, mark it. Seeing your progress gives a small feeling of success, and this builds motivation. For example, if you put an X on your calendar for each day you exercised, soon you will have a chain of X's. You will not want to break the chain. This simple trick makes discipline easier. Sheldon Howe warns us against perfectionism. Some people stop their habits the moment they miss one day. They think, I failed, so it's over. But missing one day is not failure.
The real failure is giving up completely. If you miss a day, just start again the next day. Discipline is about consistency, not perfection. The author also talks about patience. Small habits may look weak in the beginning. For example, saving just a small amount of money daily may feel useless, but over months and years it grows into something big. The same with exercise, reading, or studying. Discipline requires patience because results take time. You must trust the process. Let's take an example. Imagine a student who wants to improve his grades. Instead of studying for 10 hours only during exams, he studies 1 hour daily. At first it feels too small, but after months he is far ahead of others. His small daily habit of study built his success. In short, Sheldon Howe wants us to understand that the secret of discipline is not doing big things once in a while. It is doing small things every day until they become automatic habits. In this chapter, we learn that small habits are the foundation of discipline. Start small, stack habits with old ones, design your environment, and track your progress. Be patient, stay consistent, and remember, big results come from small actions repeated daily. We learned about discipline, the challenges it brings, setting goals, and building small habits. Now Sheldon Howe explains the next step, time management. Time is the most valuable resource we have. Once it is gone, we cannot get it back. No matter how rich or talented someone is, everyone has only 24 hours in a day. That is why managing time well is essential to being disciplined. The author says that most people waste time without even realizing it. They spend hours on social media, watching TV, chatting unnecessarily, or doing small tasks that do not matter. This waste of time is the biggest enemy of discipline. Discipline and time management go hand in hand. If you are disciplined but do not use your time wisely, you will not get results. On the other hand, if you manage your time well but are not disciplined, you will get distracted and fail to complete important tasks. To succeed, you need both. Sheldon Howe suggests a simple idea. Prioritize your tasks. Ask yourself, what is the most important thing I need to do today? Focus on that first. Many people spend time on small, easy tasks because they feel comfortable and avoid the important, difficult tasks. This is called the urgent versus important trap. Important tasks move you closer to your goals, while urgent tasks may just keep you busy. Discipline helps you choose the right tasks. Another key point is planning your day. Every morning or the night before, write down what you need to do. Break your tasks into smaller steps. This way you know exactly what to do and when to do it. Planning reduces confusion, stress, and wasted time. Sheldon Howe also talks about time blocks. This means dedicating a specific period for a task and focusing only on that task during that time. For example, if you want to study for 2 hours, block those 2 hours and turn off your phone, notifications, and distractions. When your brain knows it has a clear time to work, focus comes naturally. Another important idea is avoiding multitasking. Many people think doing multiple things at once saves time, but in reality, multitasking wastes time and reduces quality. When you try to do 2 things at once, your brain switches between them and takes longer to finish both. Focus on one task at a time. This is disciplined work and it gives better results in less time. Sheldon Howe also reminds us to review your time at the end of the day. Ask yourself, did I use my time well? What can I improve tomorrow? This small habit of reflection helps you stay aware and improve slowly. The author gives an example. Imagine a person who wants to write a book. Without planning, he spends a week thinking about ideas, reading random articles, and watching videos. At the end of the week, he has nothing finished. But if he planned 2 hours every morning for writing, focused only on writing, and avoided distractions, he would make steady progress. This shows how time management and discipline work together. Finally, Sheldon Howe reminds us to protect your time. Say no to unnecessary meetings, chats, and distractions. Guard your hours like a treasure. The more you value your time, the easier it is to stay disciplined. In this chapter, we learned that managing time is essential to discipline. Prioritize tasks, plan your day, block time, focus on one thing at a time, and review your progress. Protect your time like a treasure, because disciplined people know that every minute counts.
So far, we have learned about discipline, its challenges, setting goals, building habits, and managing time. Now, Sheldon Howe focuses on one of the biggest enemies of discipline, procrastination. Procrastination is when we delay important tasks and choose easy, comfortable activities instead. For example, instead of studying, you watch videos. Instead of exercising, you scroll on your phone. Procrastination gives temporary relief but causes long-term problems. The more we procrastinate, the heavier the work feels. Discipline is the key to breaking this habit. The author explains that procrastination happens because we try to avoid discomfort. Our brain wants to feel good now, so it pushes away anything that feels hard. But the truth is, growth always comes from doing things that feel uncomfortable at first. One simple way to fight procrastination is called the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. For example, reply to a short message, wash a cup, or write a small note. This simple trick trains your brain to act immediately and reduces the habit of delaying small tasks. Another method Sheldon Howe suggests is breaking big tasks into small steps. Big tasks feel heavy and our mind wants to avoid them. But if you break them into small, simple actions, it becomes easier to start. For example, if you need to clean a room, start with just picking up clothes from the floor. Then move to dusting. Small steps make the task less frightening, and your brain feels satisfied as you complete each step. The author also emphasizes the power of deadlines. Many people procrastinate because there is no fixed time to finish something. Setting a clear deadline creates urgency and focus. For example, if you plan to finish a report in 1 week, your brain works steadily toward that day. Without a deadline, tasks keep getting postponed endlessly. Another important idea is removing distractions. If your phone, social media, or TV constantly interrupts you, procrastination becomes easy. Sheldon Howe says, create an environment that supports action. Keep your workspace clean, turn off notifications, and stay away from distractions while working on important tasks. Sheldon Howe also reminds us to take action first, think later. Many people spend too much time planning or worrying. They think, I will start tomorrow, or I need the perfect plan. But perfect plans rarely happen. Action is what matters. Even a small step forward is better than waiting for the perfect moment. The author gives an example. Imagine a student who needs to write an essay. He keeps thinking, I don't know where to start. Then he decides to write just one sentence. After writing one sentence, he feels motivated and writes the next. Soon, the whole essay is done. Discipline is about starting, even when you don't feel ready. Finally, Sheldon Howe says self-accountability is important. Tell someone your goals or keep a journal to track progress. When someone else knows you are working on something, or when you see your own progress, you feel responsible. This accountability reduces procrastination. In this chapter, we learned that procrastination is the biggest enemy of discipline. To overcome it, take small steps, set deadlines, remove distractions, act immediately, and track your progress. Remember, the secret is not to wait for motivation, start now, and motivation will follow. And that brings us to the end of our journey through How to be Disciplined by Sheldon Howe. We learned that discipline is not punishment or strict rules,
It is freedom, respect, and control over your own life. We saw why discipline feels hard, how to set clear goals, build small habits, manage time, and overcome procrastination. All these steps, when practiced consistently, can transform your life. Remember, discipline is like a muscle. It gets stronger every time you act, even when you don't feel like it. Small actions repeated daily create big results over time. Start small, stay consistent, and trust the process. If you found this audiobook helpful, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Your support helps us bring more life-changing books in simple English so that anyone can understand and apply them in real life. Thank you for listening, and remember, your future depends on the choices you make today. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and take one small step every day toward the life you want.